I'm Maria from CrochetAtoZ and welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please push that subscribe button. If you have subscribed, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I love my crochet community, whether you're here new or whether been here a while, or whether you're a new crocheter or you've been crocheting forever. I love the crochet community. So welcome. Today, I want to show you how to make these great pumpkins. I love them. I've made them for a few years now. I've sold them. I've sold many of them, more than I can count. And I make them in different colors. I love them in the different colors. People love them in the different colors. And I embellish them. Like today, I bought this from Joann's, and it was a regular from the floral department that you could put in a floral arrangement. But what I did is I cut it down and I'm using them for this particular project. Just loved the way it looked, loved the whole look of it. But you can do whatever you want. You can make them however you want as far as embellishing them. If you want to put whatever you want to put on them, feel free. I am using a stick that I cut down from my yard. But for the stems, but if you want, you can put a cinnamon stick in there. You can put whatever you want. That's what I used. And I just love the effect. I love the way it came. And I'm using Lion Brand yarn. This particular one, this blue one right here, bluish one, is called Deep Lagoon. And it's really, really pretty. And it's from Lion Brand. And then I used another color. I used all different colors. This is pumpkin. I want to be able to tell you this. So if you're looking at and you like the colors, I want you to be able to tell you what they were. This is rose water. And then I have one here in the back. And this is really, really pretty. And it has the blue with a little bit of sparkle to it. And I know it's blue, I just can't remember the full name of it. And again, this is another pumpkin back here. And I love the different colors. I love making them in the different colors. And what I chose, and I'm also going to show you another couple of colors that I also have that I've made them in. Like I said, I've made them. I've sold many of them. I've given them away as gifts. They're just beautiful. And you can use them from now right through Thanksgiving, which is a wonderful thing, too. You can display them for a long, long time. So, like I said, you can use them now and then just keep displaying them until after the holidays. So what I used for this is I used Woolies Thick and Quick from Lion Brand. And it tells you everything, and it is a super bulky yarn. You can use whatever yarn you want. If you want to get 2 strands of yarn together, say a 4-weight yarn, and you want to put 2 together, you can do that too. Create different color variations. I have done that. So it's up to you how you want to make them and what you want to use. So you can be creative. Make them the way you want as far as what colors you want to use. I do like using the different colors. So let's get started. And what I did was the one that I'm going to be making now, or actually I'm going to just show you how we get started. And the color of this yarn is called, let me just move this, and it's called Spice. And again, it's by Lion Brand, Woolies. And I just want to mention that this is an 80% acrylic and 20% wool. So there's not a whole lot of wool in it, but there is some. And not everybody likes to work with wool. This is actually a really nice, soft wool. I find it to be very easy to work with, and I find it fine as far as working with this yarn. So I don't think, even for those of us that aren't crazy about wool, I think you'll find this one typically pretty and nice to work with. It's soft. It's not scratchy feeling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a slip knot. Now, for those of you that have never done this before, here's our slip knot. And I'm going to leave quite a long tail. So leave a tail. And then what I'm going to do is chain, we're going to make the medium size one. These are the medium. And we're going to chain 22. So we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. This is your working chain. These V's are your chain. This is your slip knot at the end. This is not considered a chain. This is not considered a chain for anybody that's new to crochet. This needle, I want to mention, is an L. It's an 8mm crochet hook. So I want to mention that as well. And you will need a scissors. And you will need a nice needle. And I would get a nice long one. And I love this because it has a nice big eye. So once you do that, you're going to go into the second chain from the hook. And you're going to do a single crochet. And then in the next chain, you're going to do another single crochet. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this right across. We're going to do a single crochet, and I'm going to pull this a little bit so that we can have this an easy flow. So we're just going to do a single crochet right across. And like I said, what we did was we chained 22. And I love this color too. It's called Spice. It kind of reminds me of a pumpkin pie with all the spices in it because it has that color to it. It's not, you know, the stock orange that you see in this one. I'm just going to put it up so you can see it. See the difference? But it is quite pretty. All the colors are really. And whatever you choose, color you choose is great. So don't feel like you have to, you know, stay with a pumpkin color. You do not. So we're going to go right across again. I wanted to pull that out so I can show you. Right in there. For those of you that have never crocheted before. And I'm going to go slow because I want to make this an easy thing for you to do so that when you do make them, it'll be like, okay, I know what I got to do next. I know what I got to do next. So again, these are your chains. And this is your single crochet. And you're going to go into each one and make a single crochet. You're going to go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Go into the chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. For anybody that's never done this before. So you're going to keep going, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So then, and here are your single crochets. So now what's going to happen is we're going to do a chain 1. when you chain one, that counts as nothing, and you're going to always chain one before you turn. Now you're going to turn. That chain one counts as nothing. You're going to go right inside your single crochets, but you're going to go in the back loop. So I'm going to show you. You're going to go into this back loop only, and you're going to do a single crochet. See the two loops? You're going to pull this one up, and you're going to do a single crochet. You're going to go into that back loop, and you're going to do a single crochet. And what happens again, back loop, single crochet. And that's going to give you the ridges of your pumpkin. So it's going to give you these little pretty ridges. I want to show it. So that's what it's going to give you. I want to be able to show you that. I'll show it to you in another color. See, it's going to give you that ridge like a pumpkin would have the little lines to it. So we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep going into that back loop. Right here. There's your V, and there's one loop and your back loop. That's your front and your back. So you're going to go right in there. And this yarn is so nice to work with. You're going to love it. It's really a nice yarn. Now, can you use another yarn with the same weight? And yes, you can. And like I said, you can use any kind of yarn you want. If you want to get you can get a 4-weight yarn and put 2 4-weight yarns together and create different colors with 2 different colors. You can do that too. I've done it. It's beautiful. So don't be afraid to experiment. Because at the end of the day, your pattern is, it's going to come out. So back loop, like I said, only. I'm going to pull that again. Back loop. Single crochet. Back loop. And don't miss the last one. Okay? See, you can start to see it already. You can start to see it already. So now you chain 1, and you're going to turn your work. Now we're going to go into the back loop again, the very first stitch, because that chain 1 counts as nothing, and you're going to do another single crochet, and you're going to do this over and over again until you get the intended size. So with this, I do 25 rows. So let me repeat this again. You're going to do a chain 22, and then you're going to do 25 rows of this. So you're going to just keep going and going until you get 25 rows. And I'm going to give you, because I've experimented, and I'm going to give you different sizes that you can make. I'm going to give you sizes extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. So I'm going to give you all of those sizes so that you can make them in different sizes depending on how, big you want to make it. This particular one this blue, this lagoon one, it took up almost the whole thing. So there was enough left over to do what I needed to do to close it up, but there was only a little left over, about 10 inches left over of yarn. So it will take almost the whole thing. So again, we did in the back. Now we're going to keep going. And you're just going to keep going. And you're going to do 25 rows. And I'm going to show you how to count them too, how you know you're going to have. So again, right here in the back. Don't forget that last one. Chain one, turn your work, and go into that very first one, back loop only. And you just keep going and going until you get the desired amount. And this, for this particular one, it's 25. So now what happens is once you get to your desired amount, you're going to end up with this. And how you're going to count how many you have, you can either use your counter or you can figure out, see your ridges? This counts as 2. There's one there and one there. Row 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can tell the middle, there's 2 rows of single crochets on each side of that ridge. And that's how you're going to know how many you have. And you count across 2, 4, 6, 8. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you count right across, and that's how you know. Now what we're going to do is, this is my right side because this is where I started. So I'm going to fold this in half. And we're going to start doing this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, you could crochet this together. I tried it. I didn't like the look. I didn't like the ridge that it gave. So I sew this together. Like I said, I didn't like the look that it gave. So that's why I went with not crocheting, but I went with sewing them together with the needle. So everything is, excuse my stuff here, but so I wanted to show you that. So I'm going to move this so that you can see. So now what I'm going to do is I just line this up like you would any project that you're making, and I start sewing this together. And you can just see this. That's it. And you just sew. Now you're sewing up the side of your pumpkin. And you're not even going to really know that it's there. It's just, I found that by sewing it, you don't know it's there. I found that, to me, if you crochet it, you can see it. But that's me. You know, you may like crocheting it, and that's fine. And you just go back and forth. And like I said, you're going to leave a long enough so that you can just go in and out until you get it all sewn up. See, you want to line it up so at the end of the day, when you get to the very end, it's going to just line up. I want you to be able to see this. See what I gather just enough. That's why I said I like to go slow so you can, especially if you've never done, if you're new to crochet, you can make these things and say, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can, I'm so new to this. Yep, you can make it. We're going to show you how. We're going to go easy. We're going to go slow. And we're going to make it. So then what I'm going to do is just like going to put these together. And that's great. And I'm actually going to, believe it or not, I'm going to knot this because I don't want this to fall apart. That's what I do. You don't have to do it that way. I like doing it that way because I don't want it to come out. And then what I do is I rethread my needle and I just work that right into here so that it just disappears inside these stitches. So it'll just disappear. So I'll show you how I mean by that. And then if there's a little bit hanging out, you can just cut it. But that's what I do. I just let it disappear right in there. Now we're going to do, I call this the bottom. And I'm going to, and you can see why I need, well, with this type of yarn, it's thick yarn. So you're going to need, you know, a good eye. But I really need a big eye for this because I always have trouble threading. So now what we're going to do is we grab this other one that we left a long tail, and we're going to work this right along here, and I'm going to show you. Just going to pick up a stitch, and you don't have to do it and you just go along, and you pick up a stitch, you go through, and then you just go along. And you pick up stitches as you go along. And you're going to do this all the way around. And yes, you can start doing that, pulling it. And you're just going to go along the edge here. You're going to make it very easy for yourself. And you're going to go around. Now, yes, it can be a little bulky, but it's all going to work out in the end. So don't panic if you say, oh no, it's bulky. It looks, nope, it'll be fine. And you're just going to go around. Again, you're going to pick up just a little bit. You don't have to pick up a lot. See? You don't have to pick up a lot. And you can feel where you first started. You'll be able to tell that that's where you started. And you'll just go right around. And you'll keep going. See? And you keep going. And you're just gonna, and then you're gonna pull. Don't be afraid to pull. And sometimes I even put my finger right in there so I can see how much. And you're gonna pull it, and you're gonna start sewing this so that you can see that there's not gonna be a hole there. So what I do is I pick up, and I'll pick up a little more on the other side. And I'll go through it. Because don't forget, this is going to be your inside, so that's not going to matter. So you're going to just pull it through. See how you're getting it together, and see how it's closing it up. And you can go through in here. And you can just pull it through. And you're going to close it up. You can grab this side from that side, and then grab that side from the other side. And you're going to tighten it up. Just like you were making, if you were making little slipper socks. And you had that toe pot. It's almost like that, but so there we go. See how it's closing up nice. So we'll just keep doing this. And then what we'll do is we'll just close it up. Now this is going to be your bottom. So now we look like we're closed well. So I'm going to go in there one more time. And I'm just going to go from that side to the other side. And I'm going to stick my needle in there. There we go. And pull it right through. And then I'm going to make it knot. Because I don't want that coming apart. Although it won't, but I always am thinking about, oh, I don't want that coming apart. So there you go. Do it again. And that's it. And then if you want, you can weave this through. If you want. Or you can cut it. But you can weave it through. A little bit. You don't even have to do the whole thing. Because it's knotted pretty tightly. There you go. And then at that point, if you want, you can cut that. So now we're going to go and we're going to turn this on the right side because we were working on the wrong side. And there, see your ridges? See how pretty they are? That's how your ridges are supposed to look. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the next step. And the next step is we're going to stuff this. So let's go and let's start stuffing. As I said, we're going to start stuffing this, but I still want you to be able to see the pretty ridges? And that makes up what you're looking at here. So that's really pretty. And we're going to go to the next step. So what we used for this is actually what they call Crafters Polyfilling. And this is what this is. Looks like snow. And you can get it at Joann's. And we get a bunch of it. We don't want to overstuff it, but we don't want to understuff it either. And we're going to start stuffing our pumpkin right in there. So like I said, it's polyfill, and it's dry polyester packing, fiber fill. And this is ideal for any kind of craft, doll making, whatever you want to make. And we just keep going. And we're going to put it in there. And I want you to see. Okay. And if you don't like the way it looks, you can pull it out. You can play with it. And you can make it so that you feel it's like, oh yeah, I like the way my bottom of my pumpkins look, and it looks full. We can put some more in there. We're going to go around and around and kind of look at it and feel it. Then look at the inside. And then we'll put a little more in there. And if you're feeling like, okay, and everybody likes them if you like them a little fuller, that's fine. You don't want to overfill them, but that's fine. See, now I like them like this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get some yarn. And I cut quite a bit because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. So, you know, and we're going to cut. And we'll get our needle. And we're going to thread our needle. And we're going to knot it. Now we're going to start sewing this closed right here. So again, like we did on the bottom half, we're going to do it again. And you can feel this. If you feel as though you want to put a little more in there, like I'm feeling like I want to put a little more in there, feel free to put a little more. And I'm saying, yep, that's kind of the way I want it. So now we're going to start sewing the edge again. So find a spot where you know it's gonna, you know, really grab so that it won't go through. And we're going to go along the edge again and pick up. This feels a little knotted, so you want to make sure that it's not going to stop, or thick, I should say. So you want to make sure it's not going to stop, so you go right above it so that it doesn't stop you from gathering what you want. And you just, now you're going to start, and you're going to do just like you did with the other one. You're going to go, and you're going to go across, and you're going to gather it as you will. And you're just going to pull it through. Okay, and we're going to just go right around, and we're going to pull it right around. See? And you'll know where you're going to pick it up. You'll get comfortable with knowing where you're going to pick it up and say, oh yeah, I'll pull it through here, but I won't pull it through here. Use your instincts. You'll be able to tell. And you just pull it through. And here we go again. And see, then you'll say, oh, you know what? I don't like that. I'm going to go to the next one. You'll be able to tell. And you'll say, oh yeah, no, I don't like the way that's, I'm going to pull it and then go into that other one. Just pull it. See? Isn't that great? And you're going to go all the way around. See how you'll know? You'll say, oh, yep, I can pick that. Oh, I can pick that other one up. And now just pull. See? Just pull it. And if you feel as though it's coming, oh, yep, you can tell. See how it's coming along? And go into the next one and say, well, I'm going to go into one more. You'll be able to tell where you started and where you're ending. And then see how it's getting smaller and smaller? Perfect. So now you're going to pull real good. Now, what I do here, now I get my needle and I put it inside the middle here. And I feel it and I let it go right through to the middle to this end. And it's going to take a little bit, but you're going to pull it through. And this is what I like to do. And there's a reason that I like to do it this way. Because what I'm going to do is, see the needle? I want to show you that. I'm going to pull this up. And here it comes up. And I'm going to show you why. Because it gives me this little indentation in it. To me, it makes the pumpkin look like a pumpkin. It gives me this look, this little ridged look, which I love. I love this look. To me, it looks like what a real pumpkin would look like. And when I do that and I come through the back end, I pull it. Now I go back into it again and I pull it back up the other way again from the top. And I pull that needle. That's why you want to make sure you have a long enough needle. And I pull it through there again. And I pull it through. I can feel it with my fingers. And I pull it back up again. And see what it's doing? See how it's forming? It's making the pumpkin form. To me, it just gives it that nice ridge around. Then I go back in again, and I pull it through. Now, as you do it, you did it that last time, it's going to get even easier to pull it through. The first time, it's going to be difficult. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want, but I like to do this. And there it is. And then I really pull on it. And see how you're getting that? Because right in here, if you want to put a stick in there, and I'm going to show you, pull this out because I haven't glued them yet. If you want to put a stick in there, you can put a stick in there. If you want to put cinnamon stick in there, you can put a cinnamon stick in there, and then you can glue it. But it gives it that nice, tight, when you do it, you're going to feel it, and it's going to give it a nice, tight feel to it. And see how the bottom looks? It has that little ridge to it. And I just pull it nice and tight. And then what I do is I make a little, I go in here and I just make a little knot. Like I find a spot where I can knot this on the bottom. And I gather enough there. See it? And I pull it right up without grabbing anything from, there it is. This is what I like to do. Like I said, you don't have to do this if you want to just finish it up, but this is what I do. And I just pull enough through and I make my knot. And then once I do that, you can either cut it from there or you can go back in there again. It's up to you. And you can go back through. It's up to you. You don't have to. But if you want to go back in there, you can, and pull it up the other way. You can do that too. And I'm going to show you. You can pull it up. And you can, I'm going to show you that, see, there it is again. And you just pull it right up. And it comes right up. And there it is. And then what I do is I cut it. But I leave enough, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when you put your cinnamon stick in there, or whatever stick you want, after you glue it, you can put this around it, which I did to this one. But I didn't get it, I didn't glue it yet. But you can put this around it if you want. And it kind of gives it that look like there's no hole there, there's nothing there once you, and you just work that right in there. You don't even know that was your piece. And then you decorate it the way you want. But see how it gives you that little bit of an edge? And if you turn this over, it gives it to you on the bottom too. And I'm going to show you. And it kind of forms your pumpkin. It makes it, this is how I do it. I make that go through from on one end to another. And like I said, when you first do it, because I haven't glued this yet, but see the ridge that it gives and the indentation where you can put your cinnamon stick. And then when you check the bottom, it gives you that same kind of nice like ridge to it. It's, to me, it just makes it perfect. So this is how I make my pumpkins. Again, if you don't want to finish off that way and go through from one end to the other, you don't have to. But this is how I make them. And I'm going to show you again that you can put these, decorate them whatever way you want. And then after you figure out how you're going to decorate them, Then you can glue whatever you want to it, and it makes it really pretty. You can glue them. But this is, again, this is the one that we made. And I'm going to show you again. This is an orange one. And all you have to do is do a slip knot. Make a long enough tail so that when you sew what you're going to need to sew, you make your slip knot and you're going to chain. And if you make an extra small one, you're going to chain 13. And I'm going to give you all the different ones, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And this is for the small one. Then you go in the second chain from the hook and you do your single crochets. And this is your orange color one. This is pumpkin. And you will be going right across and chain 1, turn your work around. Do not, chain 1 does not count it as anything. Do not skip that first single crochet in that first stitch, and then single crochet across. Always in the back loop. Single crochet in the back loop. And do this right across. Make sure you grab that last stitch. Chain 1. Turn your work around. Back loop only. Single crochet in the back loop only. See it? And you will get those pretty little ridges that give the pumpkin the character that you want it to have. And then you decorate it whatever way you want. You can keep it plain and just put a cinnamon stick in it, or a stick from your yard. And see how pretty that is, and see the ridge? That's the ridge that you want to achieve so that you get this. So that you get that. And like I said, if you want to keep it simple, you can keep it simple. You can just make it and then keep it simple with just a regular stick in there. But that's up to you. Chain 1 counts as nothing. Turn your work around. Back loop only. always work, when you chain one, always work in your back loops only. And these are how to make your pumpkins. And make them in all different colors you want. Give them away as gifts, sell them at bazaars, sell them to people that you know that want them. Because once they see them, trust me, they're going to want them. Because I made them and I sold them. I can't even tell you how many I sold because people were going crazy over them because they just loved them. And they loved the look and they just loved the whole thing. And the nice thing is they were able to use them from fall right through until Thanksgiving and before you start decorating for Christmas. So that's, you know, I know people, I have friends that actually have used them all year long because they just love the looks of them. And they put the cinnamon sticks in them. Some of the ones that I've made, they wanted the cinnamon sticks in them. And they just love it. And so that's totally up to you. And look how quickly, I mean, they work out. You can make quite a few of these in a day. From crocheting them to stuffing them to finishing them off. And there you go. And this is, like I said, this is the extra small one. And this is really cute. I'm actually going to make a couple of these for my grandsons so that they can put them in their rooms. So this is Maria from Crochet A to Z. I hope you liked this tutorial. If you want me to do another one with 2 strands of yarn, I can do that. If there's anything that you'd like me to repeat that I've done in this and you want me to repeat it, I'll be happy to make another video so that you can see it again. But like I said, what I do is once I do the top, I put the needle right through and I let it go to the other end and I pull it through and then I pull it through, go back in, let it come the other end, pull it through, and then one more back in and the other end, and then I knot it. You can knot it and finish it off there. I usually knot it and then finish it off up here because then I use the extra to like hide the hole. Once I glue what I need to glue, I use that extra yarn to do that. And you can't see any of the stuffing. That's why I do it that way. And I love the way, because I pull it through, I love the way it gives these are very textured to begin with, but for me, by doing that, it gives me that really extra textured feel to it, and I just love that feel in the middle of it and on the back end of it. It just gives it a nice textured, and it feels to me like, oh yeah, that feels like a pumpkin to me. So this is Maria from Crochet A to Z. I hope you liked this tutorial. Please tell your friends about it. Please subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. And thank you very much. I love having you all here. Can't wait to show you the next tutorial. It's going to be really great. I have a real great stitch coming up and then a really great tutorial on how to make something else. So thank you again, Maria from Crochet A to Z. Welcome all. I love having you all here. I love my crochet community. Keep this going and please like and subscribe. That's how this gets out here and more people learn about it. So Maria from Crochet A to Z. Have a great day. Bye-bye.